Maria back with another video. 6:28 a.m. I think it's the 12th. Maybe? Yeah, it is the 12th. You know, and if I'm wrong, oh well. At least I tried. So, you know, I was, yesterday I went for a little drive because I just had to get out of the house. And, I just wanted to, you know, break my routine as much as I possibly could, but, you know, it was kind of nice. I realized, you know, how important it is for me to take up time during the day because, you know, there's just not enough for me to do. So, you know, when I drive, I don't like driving long distances, you know, and I mentioned before that I do have, like, because of the continuous issues with the workplace mobbings and stuff like that has taken place over the years. And then when I think about certain issues, it does provoke anxiety. It does. It's like, you know, because, you know, when you're being threatened at work or you're being threatened at job interviews or something, it's very much like somebody threatening your life, and you become extremely nervous. It's like somebody pointing a gun to your head, something along those lines. So it's very disturbing to me. So yesterday, I did okay, you know, but it's not something I would do a lot. I wouldn't want to do it a lot, you know, but I just wanted to get out of the house, and you know, I have been dealing with the anxiety from my from this issue, so I'm trying to get that under control. Yes, you know, it has prevented me from going for walks. You know, I mentioned I went for a walk on Ming Avenue, and then I had one of those weird anxiety attack issues, and then it caused some problems. So I'm being very careful about that, because I know that some people can actually be in strokes or something like that could happen when you are that consumed with anxiety. As a matter of fact, I do suspect that anxiety attacks can lead to those things. So I try to take it easy as much as I possibly can, but I'm hoping to get this under control eventually. I mean, because I do enjoy walking. I do, okay? And it's not really for me to be exercising, you know, to have like this, you know, toned body or anything, but it's nice to get outside, especially during the autumn time or the cooler seasons. You know, I like looking at the houses and stuff like that. You know, I know that there's been a lot of bullying behavior, you know, from people, you know, watching me going for walks and reporting back to the perp or whatever. So, but that's not going to stop me from doing what I need to do or what I want to do, because, you know, being cooped up in your house is, it can get a little old sometimes. So, I was thinking about, you know, the scapegoating issue. You know, the continuous cycle of scapegoating, the continuous cycle of abuse, and the reason why it's better to sever ties with, you know, of course, the people that put me in this precarious position. Because, you know, once I had mentioned before, dealing with narcissistic people, the relationship will never, ever be a good one. It will never be a cordial, respectful relationship. And I'm referring to, you know, my ex-family and the behavior towards me. When you are a scapegoat, you are basically, they call it the scapegoat, the sacrificial lamb. Some people even call it like the black sheep of the family. You are continuously at odds with these people. Even with you know, you don't even have to do anything. You know, you are just different. You have your own mind. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Especially, you know, in the case where I was raised in this particular family, where we never had any set priorities or any sort of rules defined other than, you know, the basic ones, like, you know, be respectful, clean up after yourself, you know, that sort of stuff, you know. But as far as, you know, how my lifestyle was supposed to be set out for me, that was never discussed with me. So I'm dealing with a lot of I dealt with a lot of narcissistic abuse, and it is a vicious cycle when you're dealing with it, because, you know, kind of like what I mentioned when they are in a constant state of like competition with you, and because they have this negative feeling towards you, they want other people to feel that way too. So they want to make sure that they invade your surroundings, okay? So they will involve your neighbors, say your co-workers, your bosses, your people that, this is just generally speaking. So then they start to take sides and see things from the side of the perpetrators, okay? And so when they are damaging you, okay, which they've damaged me so many times and for such a long time, when they damage you and you are crying out for them to stop it, like when I had contacted the CPA and when I contacted the lady over at Passive Aggressive Stupidity, then the same reaction is to harm the person who is being bullied, the person who's being abused, the person. So it's a continuous cycle, you see. So some people would be angry, and I can tell that they're angry because, number one, I spoke out, which I had to, okay, because my life was being placed in jeopardy for the stupidity of someone else, and that should not be the case, okay. But because they put so much energy and effort into the destruction of my life, and they felt as though it was a worthy cause. They were misled into believing that it was a worthy cause. They are guilty for the actions that they took, and they feel like ashamed of themselves. So once again, you're the one who gets blamed. Like, oh, they'll say, well, you need to just get out there and look for work and blah, 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 blah. But they don't understand that they put a situation in place that made it very difficult. And so their response and their solution would be, well, if you just complied with our rules, if you comply with their rules, okay, then you have set yourself up to be continuously bullied. Okay, the whole situation was based on bullying to begin with. So it's like, these people make foolish decisions and continuously want you to suffer for them. So in this situation, it's better to just sever ties with these people, okay? Sever ties with them, and then expect for you to have struggles. You're going to struggle, okay? They put a situation in place where you're going to struggle, okay? And so, you're never going to get the last word with these people because that's just what it is. It is what it is, okay? So now that I understand that, I'm avoiding being optimistic about my plans. And the reason why is because every time I had, try to pick myself up, the situation they would continually create problems, or it was just a residual issue that was lingering around. So, it's not something that I could just, fix right away. It's something that, I have to kind of work myself through. I also, because of them, taking it upon themselves to limit my abilities, which they should not have done and was wrong to do. I don't know where I'm supposed to where am I supposed to direct my attention to, like as far as looking for work, because like to me, I've been working in accounting since 1997. Wait, 1987 or 1996? 1997. Okay, 1997. I've been working in accounting since 1997. So that's really all I know, other than, office work or whatever. So it's hard. Like, am I supposed to look for that? Am I supposed to do that? What am I supposed to do? Because their attitude is, well, they set me up in something that I was supposed to be content with, but there's no chance for growth or anything like that. And that's a problem. That's a huge problem, So, I'm not sure, you know what I mean? I'm not sure what to do at this point, because this is why it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea for this to happen in the first place. So my attitude is, I just have to take one day at a time. I don't know. I have no idea, because you can make plans, but they have pretty much damaged a lot of the opportunities that I've had, could have had. And so, and of course, they'll blame me because, if I only would have just submitted to their whims, if I only would have just converted to their cult religion, if only I would have done these things, okay? They try to always put the blame, it will always continuously be the blame on me, when I have every right to reject it. And I don't believe my life would be any easier if I did accept that, because they would sit here and try to dictate my life to the point of where I would not want to live anymore, okay? Which they pretty much did that already. So it's time to cut these people off, and that's what I've done. So yesterday I was like, driving on the freeway, and I was like, and I actually did okay. I was like, okay, I'm okay right now. Of course, the traffic was kind of backed up, so it was kind of weird because most people weren't driving any faster than, I would say, 40 to 45 miles an hour. So I was like, okay, I can deal with this. And I felt relaxed, okay? But then I kept thinking, I really don't have a lot of money, so I'm going to have to turn back because, you can't just go driving endlessly because there's the issue of gas, right? So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to head back home. So that's what I did. But I did get out of the house, so I realized that, taking up extra time of my day is important, because when I got home, even though I got home around, I think I got home around like close to 5 or something like that yesterday, 5 p.m., I felt a little bit better, so it's like it's really about me. The kind of work, my job needs to have more hours. I have to have more hours, and hours doing something that I find somewhat pleasurable. So that's why you can't let people make decisions for you. And I know that there's a lot of anger directed towards me from the people that I used to know for speaking out, but that's just part of the scapegoat issue, because now that they've damaged you, and they will continuously damage you, even when they've damaged you to the point of where you feel like your life is hanging on a string, and they still want to put the blame on you. Put the blame on you because you're talking about it, because you suffered, and now your existence is a constant reminder of their damage that they did to you. So oftentimes, when after they've damaged you, like I said, the only thing that they feel towards you is anger, resentment, or whatever, because they don't want to have to acknowledge the fact that they did what they did. Okay, so it's something that hey, that's the role of a scapegoat. That's the role of a scapegoat. So if you're a scapegoated person or a black sheep in your family, that's the best thing for you to do, is to sever ties. Sever ties with them, sever ties with people that you have mutual contact with, because if you were to have mutual contact with the people that they have contact with, what's going to happen? If they were to come over to your house, they're going to serve as spies. They're going to sit here and say, feedback information as to what you're doing, how you're living your life, and it's going to be the same old thing. So, it might hurt you. It might hurt you to sever ties with certain people, but overall, you don't need to be betrayed over and over and over again. You just don't need it. So take care of yourself. So it's a Thursday. I'm looking forward to this weekend. I want to finish my PowerPoint. I think I have it's maybe 5 more lessons to go. And it has been. I've been really, really depressed. I have been depressed because, my eyes are opened up to situations or behaviors of people that I never realized, but that they could have. And I realize that the reason why they have these behaviors is because they are associated with people that have been my abusers for a very, very long time. And, it's very hard to find decent people. It's hard to find decent people who truly care about your mental well-being. It is very hard to do that. And I was thinking yesterday about how the average person bullies people that they claim to love all the time, and bullying behavior, or this sort of mistreatment, is very common, okay? But some families take it to the extreme. We tend to forget other people's needs and place our own desires or try to impose our will on other people all the time. This is a very common thing that people do, okay? But dehumanization is like, an everyday thing. And that's why people have to set boundaries, and that's why I'm setting them. That's why I'm setting them. So that's just, it is what it is. So, I felt really sad yesterday. I felt really sad yesterday. But then I realized, if people cared about you, they wouldn't keep you in isolation. They wouldn't, okay? The very fact that they keep telling themselves, well, it's okay, she needs to be by herself right now. No, that's their guilt. That's their guilt. They don't want you emerging because they're guilty. You know what I mean? They're guilty. And I've had enough of the bullying behavior. I've had enough of the abuse. And so, things hurt you, but you have to go on. You know what I mean? You have to forget people. Forget them. And if they cared about you, they wouldn't have put you in this situation. They wouldn't have devalued you. They would not have, made these sort of decisions for you. They would not have taken the things that matter to you. They knew that my job mattered to me. They knew that I needed that to survive, but they didn't care. Okay? And once they realize what they've done, they want to continuously bully you. Oh, put her in isolation, and then when she's reached breaking point, we can just continually yell at her, or we can continually have people abuse her by, the same time exit, entry, bullshit, whatever. It's an unfortunate thing to be born in a family that is toxic, okay? And when I moved away from my toxic family, my toxic ex-family, my intention was to stay in touch with them, to see them like on the holidays and stuff like that, but I didn't want to be a part of their influence. So because I realized all my life, all the setbacks that I had, now I do, I realize, all of them were because of that. So when I moved away, even though I wasn't moving very far away, but I moved away to have my own life, and set up my own life and do things I needed to do, they decided to invade my space, okay? And the sad depression feelings that I had when I was growing up have returned to me because their environment or their toxic behavior is felt in the environments that I'm in. Like, for example, when they want to, if you do something at work, right, that your boss or whatever in the past, or like, for example, that wicked secretary, they're looking for, any excuse to go off on you, okay? And so you're not asking for them to be a part of your new life. You're not asking for them to. But they want to be there so they can, stir it up all the time. They want to stir it up all the time and get converts on their side so they can continuously bully and harass you. And so they create these issues. And you don't want to even you don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. As far as me looking for work, they're like, well, we're only going to help you find a job if you, stop doing your hair that way, and if you stop being artistic or whatever. The thing is that you should never have to rely on somebody to help you find a job. Okay, I understand there's networks and stuff like that, but I'm not doing anything that's breaking any laws or any common rule or whatever. You know what I mean? The thing is that it's about control. It's about, let me switch to this religion and then you'll get this and this and this and this. And see, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, okay? Because you're violating my rights. And, or changing my lifestyle. I'm not going to change my lifestyle. I know how to dress for job interviews, and it's the same clothes that I wear to job interviews are the same clothes that these people wear. Like the same people, like slacks, little shoes, regular shoes, a dress shirt or whatever. Same stuff, okay? If I'm in a dressy office environment, then I know how to dress according to that. I know how to. If I'm on if I work for a company where I work now, I know that there's really no dress code. But I'm used to dressing decently for work. That's just how it is, okay? But I know how to dress appropriately for each occasion, all right? So if I'm in one of those ritzy places, I know that I'm going to have to, put aside my jeans break out those slacks or whatever. And I know what is appropriate for whatever occasion. So I'm not going to bring, my Hello Kitty stuff into foo-foo type environments. I know that. You know what I mean? So what it is just a continuous cycle of bullying. And I will say though, when you are a scapegoat or you're a target or you're a victim of human trafficking, and I believe that there's a correlation between all of those issues, which I want to put in my video when I do make it, the reasons why and what kind of perps or what kind of person would traffic another person, the reasons why. Oftentimes it's the associations are based on control within a family, abusive control within a family. But when you're dealing with, I forgot what I was talking about the human trafficking issue. When you're dealing with these issues, and it is extremely taxing on a person. There is no way in the world you could be a targeted individual or deal with that sort of stuff without it affecting you. Okay, these things are never going to have a positive effect. They are always going to be disastrous in one way or another. Okay, and they will leave you in your mental state. They will allow you to suffer this, the emotional, financial, and all the impacts of what they have done, and they're fine with it. They're fine with it. They don't care what they've caused you. But they are happy. They are happy that they hurt you. That's what it is. It's all about them being happy that they hurt you. And they did hurt me. Okay, they hurt me more than anybody could ever hurt me before, or anything could ever hurt me. This is the most painful thing that I've ever had to deal with in my entire life, and I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for it. You know what I mean? And that's what I have to remember. So anyway, I'm on my way to work, and I just wanted to say that, let you know what I've been up to, dealing with healing and forgetting people, forgetting them, wiping them off my, out of my memory is what it is. Do understand that if people cared about you, they would not, and they knew, and they know that the isolation that they put you in is hurting you. And they continue to insist that you're okay with isolation. You need to be by yourself for a while. That already tells you right there that these people are not the people that you need to be around with. They don't give a fuck about how you feel. All right? They don't give a fuck about you. So I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will be back with another video sometime later. Take care.